Experts involved in the fight against human trafficking from Sweden and the Netherlands joined forces in The Hague at the invitation of the Swedish government and both the Swedish and Dutch national police forces.
The aim of the conference is to exchange ideas on how to strengthen the fight against forced prostitution in our countries and help the women who are victims of this crime.
Well, of course, we need to combat human trafficking together and up on European level, and that's why it's important for countries like Sweden and the Netherlands to join together in this struggle. I think it's important when it comes to police channels and network, how we can learn from each other. We have a different position when it comes to prostitution, and I strongly support the Swedish law. But of course we need to cooperate. We're members of the European Union, and this is cross-border crime, and it needs to be worked with on a cross-border level.
For the last decade, the two countries have tackled prostitution from opposite spectrums. While Sweden criminalised the purchase of sexual services in 1999, the Netherlands were working towards legalising prostitution.
For us it's very important to have this Congress together with the Swedish people, because they have the methods and their view, maybe a more realistic view, how to fight against trafficking. They have another point of view of the Dutch, but they can learn from us and we can learn from them. If you choose a country with the same policy, you don't learn anything anymore. In the beginning, we have to look what's going on the internet to Sweden and to the Netherlands, and not to tell about this is our policy, that is our policy. We can later on choose what is the best policy, doing by acting directly.
If you are talking about increase in human trafficking, then you might just as well talk about the increase in the commitment to fight human trafficking, because human trafficking occurs in hidden sectors. If you are not actively looking for it, you will not find it. And just eliminating street prostitution in itself is not, in my view, the answer.
The Dutch film My Loverboy documents one way in which human trafficking is still at large.
I worked with social services and with police before, and there's lots of stories about lover boys and how this grooming process of trying to get young girls from Holland into prostitution. There's lots been written and done about it. But I really felt there should be a story about a police, what they are doing, and I thought that would really add to the picture. And it really does, because it has had big impact on Holland. 4 girls also, after seeing the movie, have chosen to come up to police and say, yes, I am in prostitution, I'm forced, and please help me to get out.
A continued need for better international cooperation was addressed during the conference.
We have in some concerning some crimes very different legislation in Europe, and we need harmonization. And there will be a new directive that will be decided by the European Parliament in a week or two, that will set standards for how to identify trafficking. There will be minimum penalties, there will be a standard for aggravating circumstances, there will be standards for the support of the victims and so on. And this is a big step forward.
The stage reading 7 was performed in conjunction with the conference. It tells the stories of 7 remarkable women from around the world.
I think it's so important with 7 because it's showing 7 fantastic human rights activists and feminists and their individual stories, how to work with human rights issues and women's rights in a patriarchal world. And I'm going to read the role of Hafsat Abiola from Nigeria tonight, a young Nigerian human rights activist.
When I hear my story being told in this way, I feel fulfilled. Many times in the past I've wondered, am I doing the right thing? I feel I'm getting feedback that yes, you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path. And I'm so happy to have that happen.